Chris Sundberg of Elder Voice Family Advocates, and it was really Elder Voice that developed the Elder Care IQ. We've known for quite a while that there was a need for something to help people screen care providers based on the quality of the care that is provided. There are lots of resources out there that help people, find places and know where they are located and that sort of thing. But it's a lot more challenging to see what kind of track record do they have. A lot of people talk to others who've been at a facility, and that gives them some indication too. But there are other resources that get at that. And the Department of Health has what we consider one of the better ones, and that is their investigations of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. And they report that, and it's available, and it's publicly available, but it's a very difficult website to navigate. And the reason that we really are focusing on this is that there have been a lot of challenges with quality care. And some providers are really doing a bang-up job handling the pandemic admirably, handling the staffing shortages pretty adequately, and others have not, and some of them even have a long history of ongoing problems. And what we find is that transparency is key. That's what we're looking to provide. We don't interpret anything. We let the information speak for itself, and people make their own decisions if that's of concern to them or not. The one thing that we've kept in mind when developing this tool is it's often a fast decision. Some health emergency has happened and a change needs to be made, or a change of their health condition requires moving somewhere else, something of that sort. We've helped a lot of people over time trying to screen care providers, and we learn pretty quickly it can be enormously time consuming to look at various Department of Health data, to look at federal data, to look at report cards, that sort of thing. And so we needed to really take a look at all of this. And people who have used the Department of Health website know that it's pretty tough to navigate as well. Then we happened on to Scott Zerbe, his smiley little face here. He's a tech entrepreneur, and Linda Gustafson's actually on this presentation, and I credit Linda for being the person who actually made this really happen. Linda invited me to come speak to an Excelsior Rotary Club meeting. Scott Zerbe was there. I've known Scott for many years, but didn't know the depth of his experience. When he listened to the program and heard about the challenges and difficulties with navigating the Department of Health website, he checked it out while I was speaking, and afterwards came and said, I can help you with this. So that opened up this wonderful opportunity that we've had. We launched this on November 29th. We've already had 6,700 new users. And that really just points out the need for this kind of tool. The Department of Health was very, very cooperative. They helped, link the data people, and Scott worked with them on an ongoing basis. And we've started with nursing homes and assisted living with memory care, but we have now also added home care agencies. We intend to add hospice here shortly, but we also have hospitals on board. Now, as we go forward, our base is the Department of Health data, but we want to add other data sources that we believe are good indicators of the type of quality care. Nursing Home Inspect is one of those sources. They provide fine and penalty data and deficiency information. Also, CMS has their special focus facilities and special focus facility candidates. Nursing home report card is available now. Assisted living report card will be available in a year or two. I'm not quite sure. So we'll be adding that to this database, making it all the more robust for the users. Now, what we advise people is it's one tool for people to use. We do not advise that they make their decisions solely on this tool, but factor it in as they look to other resources too. And then take what they find and go interview the provider. By all means, they need to talk to the provider. And if there were issues, talk to them, see what they've done to remedy it, and make their choices from there. This does include all of the state's licensed providers. And it also includes not only the investigation reports, but the survey reports. Now, I welcome feedback from any of you who are taking a look at this today. We've been getting feedback, and we're trying to use that to improve the tool. And for most part, it's been outstanding reaction to it. Few older folks aren't real comfortable using an online tool, but it's sometimes in those cases a son or daughter or friend helping them out as well. I think another indicator of the positive reaction to this tool is we're getting donations that we hadn't received specific to this IQ tool because it's viewed as that beneficial to people. So there will be issues. We need to hear about those. We do like that because among them, the Department of Health, as they transition from going into licensing of assisted living, they have legacy systems that are on occasion causing some issues. And MDH is great about our sending any kind of problems over to them. This is the home page. So this is what you would see there. And it's got some basic information, a little bit about what elder care IQ is and what they can expect to find. And some of the benefits as we see it also. And then we try to make really clear that we do not interpret the data. That's for the user to do. All we're doing is providing it what we find. And we also remind people that only 15% of the complaints are actually investigated. Now, many people will go right to the search tool, and I've just entered White Bear Lake here, and let's see where. So this takes us right into White Bear Lake. Now, I want to get a little more granular look, so I've just zoomed it in right here. Now, you can go up here and pick what kind of community type you want. You can put in assisted living, it'll provide you with that, or boarding, or whatever it is that you want. I'm going to keep everything on here as is. Well, this Serenity Care Center just had, the other thing I should point out is the size. If you're just looking for a small place, you can do that. If you want medium, or if you want larger for whatever your reason, so you can filter by that. Again, I'm not going to filter, but so here's the first one. that comes up on the side here. But what this also tells you is here's everything in your area. So if you aren't familiar with the possibilities, you can just really move along in there and say you find a place that's in an area that's of more interest to you. So you can do that as well. Also, let's just go here. So, all right, this is a nursing home. There's the address, and it has 4 substantiated, 24 unsubstantiated investigations. I'm going to just go to the substantiated, and here, excuse me, it takes you and gives you a little more information about the type of ownership, the number of beds, and the contact information. Now, that's all taken from the Department of Health, and we are finding that there are occasionally sometimes old information in here, but we will adopt that when we can. Now, we want to so we want to take a look. Now let's check and see exactly what these investigations are telling us. We get a notice that we're being redirected, and so this will take you directly to the investigation reports. Here's one. Doesn't tell you what the issue was, but it was recently completed. Here's one that was from a year ago. Nearly resident left wet, indignity, whatever, and then bathing, linen change, etc., billing issues, and pressure ulcers. Now these go back to 2020. We find some that go back to 2015, so there can be a pretty substantial history. Let's see what this one. So then it takes you.
Chris, that was Lynn Ammon had just asked that question. Is there, how far back will they go? Is there an outer limit?
I've seen them back to 2015.
Okay.
It's whatever they have in their database. So
thank you.
Not sure. I guess personally, I would look, if some of these are pretty distant in history, it probably tells you that whatever the issues were, they've been remedied there. So you can get a little more information here to check in what was provided for a remedy, etc. And let's go back here. So I think that actually kind of gives you, now you can also see the surveys. So if you want to just go to the most recent survey, you can do that. And here you get a survey and the results of that. Now, as we go forward and start to add more, go back, as we start to add more data sources, for instance, instead of what you find here on the side, we'll also build in perhaps find data for Serenity Care Homes, or if they're on the special focus facility list, or the assisted living report card, or whatever. So I think that gives you a pretty quick and dirty overview. Do you have any questions, anybody?